Okay, so now you have some pallets received into your cool room locations. You've got containers on those pallets and they've been labelled, and you want to dispatch some to send to customers. And maybe you're making up an order, and what you find that you need to do is to take some stock off more than one pallet to build a new pallet. So once you move stock from one pallet to another, we need to track that, otherwise we obviously lose track of the containers related to that. The way that you would do that is to perform a pallet transfer. Now, to explain how this works is, if you're going to shift stock from one pallet to make up a new pallet, the first thing you're going to need to do is to create a new label for the destination pallet that you are going to be putting the stock on. So if I go to pallet labels now, to labels, and I go pallet labels here, I will choose that I'm going to do a new pallet of square styrene containers, and I'll make this one be for export, and I'm making up. I'm going to choose some of the Thompson seedless, and I want to make up a new pallet of 72. Now, I've got several pallets that are half-half. They've got Thompson seedless and Crimson seedless on them, and I'm going to take from a couple of pallets and build this 72. So first thing I'll do is actually create the new pallet label for that, and I'm going to print that pallet label off. And then after I've printed the pallet label off and I've got that, I'll be able to use my barcode scanner to go and record the stock that I take from one pallet and do to another. So I'll print this label, and then we'll come back and look at how you do that on the barcode scanner. So I've printed that pallet label. I'm going to clear that label from the queue, and now I'll go over to my tracking, and I want to again go to my barcode scanner here. So now on my barcode scanner, I'm going to go number 1, collect data, and I'm going to go to number 3, pallet transfer. It's going to ask me where the pallet that I am creating, the new pallet where I'm transferring the stock to, where that's located, and in my case it's going to be in cool room 1. Now it's going to ask me to scan the pallet from, so where am I getting the stock from? Well, I'm going to take off one of the pallets that I have here. I'm going to take 28 cartons that I have, or containers. So I'm going to scan that first one that I've got from here, and then it's going to say where is that going to, and I'm going to put that to that new pallet that I've said, which I'm just going to scan that, which is the one that I'm building up of 72 items. And how many am I transferring? Well, I'm taking all 28 from that, so off that pallet to do that. Now, I also have another 16, I actually have another 40 on another pallet, which I'm going to do. So I'm going to say from this one now, I'm taking 40 from there, and I'm scanning again to that destination pallet, the new one, which has 72. Now it already has 28 on this, so I'm going to add another 40, which will take it up to 68. And so I'm transferring 40 of those. And then finally I have, so that's 68, and I have another pallet which has 16 on, and I'm going to take the other 4 that I need from this pallet of 16 to make up the final amount of 72. So I'm going to scan the pallet from, which is that one, and I'm going to scan my destination pallet, my pallet 2, again the last time. So if you imagine in your warehouse, you actually, as you take the stock, you're taking and recording how many you take off, and I'm taking 4 from that, and I've now completed that. So now I can back out from that, and I want to send that data back to the PC, and I'll hit enter to do that. Go get from barcode scanner. It's going to receive that data, and it's come there. So now if I look at that data and I process it, I have a pallet transfer here that I've done, that I've transferred to pallet number 80008 is the final destination one. I've taken 4 from one pallet, I've taken 40 from another, and 28 from the other. And so that's then recorded that pallet transfer. Now, the one that I took the 4 from, there was actually 16 on that pallet, so I would need to print another label for that. If I go back to the labels here, and I go to pallet labels, you'll see that there is actually now it's added in the labels that I need to print for the old ones. Well, 2 of those I've taken all of the labels from, so the pallet quantity is 0, so I don't actually need to print a label for those. I can just remove that label from the pallet, so I'll delete those 2. But the one left that I've got there is actually has got 12 left on the pallet. I need to print a new pallet label for that that one there, and you'll notice it says down here it's not a new pallet. It says new, it says no, so I can now go ahead and print that one and go and put it back on the original pallet number 8004, which had 16 but now has 12. So I hope that explains how the pallet transfer works. If you have any questions on that, talk to iTags. The idea is that whenever you remove stock from a pallet, you need to reprint a label for that old pallet, and whenever you're moving stock to a new pallet, you must start with a new pallet label, and so this will allow you to do that. The same thing can be done through the direct scanning mode, and again, if you're doing a pallet transfer, you have to select the room and the pallet from and the pallet to and the quantity, and it will work that as well.